Welcome back, everybody, to Den Excelsior, the Mostly Marvel podcast. I'm your host, Ricky. With me, as always, we got Dennis.
What's going on?
Spider-Noir is going on.
Nice.
All 8 episodes released this past week on MGM Plus and Amazon Prime. And we had the pleasure of watching all of it.
Whoa, he did air quotes around pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 228. Yeah, we're talking about Spider-Noir. Mm-hmm. Not Spider-Man Noir. We're talking about Spider-Noir.
When we started the show, do you think we would ever get a Spider-Noir show? That ever
Hell
on
no.
List?
No. It's like, once again, we have to quote our friend Travis because embarrassment of riches right now, right? Like we are far down the rabbit hole, ladies and gentlemen, where we're getting Amazon. So I just want to clarify, not only are we getting a streaming limited series live action of Spider-Man Noir, but we are getting the first TV performance of Nicolas Cage ever. He does not do TV. He has always made a point of never doing TV.
That man needs some money. He needs something.
No, it's not that. They convinced him. They did it at a budget, they did it at a budget that's like a movie, and they also did it on a schedule that was like a movie.
I don't know. I've listened to multiple interviews on Nicolas Cage on why he works sometimes.
Well, I think there was a period of time where yes, he did need the money, but I think he's on the upswing again now. Nowadays, so like he's been doing a lot of good work that feels like not something for the check, you know what I mean? And I will say, without spoiling too much, I don't think this one was for the check. I think this was out of love, the one that he did for Amazon Prime and MGM Plus. I will talk extensively more about this later. But I'm happy that you and I found the time to watch 8 episodes of this. I would say, what were you nerding out on this week? But I would hope that at least 6 hours of it was freaking Spider-Noir, dude.
6 hours was Spider-Noir.
That was a lot. So I'm not going to hold it to you if you didn't have a lot of other stuff to nerd out on. You know what I mean? And that's kind of why we didn't bother to invite anybody else on the episode today, because like, that's a commitment. All right. Like normally we just say, like, hey, go watch a movie. But we watched a lot of Spider-Man this week. It was pretty interesting. But would you have anything else you did nerd out on? Just curious.
We did more comedy.
Nice.
So it was actually kind of a weird happenstance where our favorite comedian, Ray Lau, who got us to watch this Netflix Funny AF show that we never now on this crazy binge on, or we were on a crazy binge on. Mm-hmm. He was going to be in Long Beach during the week in this place that does free comedy on Wednesdays, and they usually have people of that caliber there. It's a free show. Everyone gets about like 15 minutes, but you see some, you get some nights are winners, some nights are losers. But we saw Ray, and it felt very rewarding because his comedy set, or the material he was testing, was based off the show, or was his point of view of the show. And I think one of the reasons why he left early on the show or he got voted off, was the roast episode, right? He wasn't roasting Marshawn Lynch, he was roasting Kevin Hart. So
right.
He works that whole bit into his set where the gist of it is, and again, it could be makeup or not, but to his story was, they were told, they had 6 months, but they were told it was a Kevin Hart roast. And then they didn't find out until about a month out that it was the Marshawn Lynch roast.
Oh.
And he didn't bother to change his material. But he tells it in a much more funny way. But I think it was very rewarding now to have been on this journey with this person, this fandom, as you will, and rewarded on the subsequent visits, right? So with new material, what relevant material that we all seen them. We liked that set so much that we actually went to the Comedy Store on Sunday night where he was also performing. So we got to see a little bit of the same set, some new stuff, but again, really interesting to see the difference in like crowd and difference in how you broke down some jokes. The thing we went to at the Comedy Store on Saturday was like an NPR like charity show, essentially. Like all the money went to public radio, which is important, but you can kind of make assumptions about the type of demographic that crowd is. So I think part of the joy of being in that crowd was like the jokes, the crowd work kind of playing on that fact.
It's better if you know your audience for sure, man.
Like there was a whole bit where like someone was doing crowd work with this random person, and she kind of sounded crazy, and they're like, "You need therapy," and they're like, "Better yet, there's probably therapists in this crowd," and sure enough, there's like 3 therapists in there, and then people start cracking up. But that's been my week. It's been a week full of comedy isms. Yeah.
Okay.
How about
you? Wrestling. So hard.
It was the Clash in Paris.
No, it was Clash in Italy.
Oh, same shit.
But it was same shit. That's not the wrestling I'm talking about, man. I saw one of the best matches, like as far as storytelling goes, ever on Saturday night at Noche de los Grandes in Mexico City.
That's the WWE offshoot, right?
Well, it's one of the brands they own. It's the AAA. AAA is the Lucha Libre brand. But they have built a story over the past year that involved a character named El Grande Americano that hails from the Gulf of America that was created coincidentally only weeks after it was renamed the Gulf of America from the Gulf of Mexico. And he was this white guy dressing up as a luchador in order to defeat all of the luchador enemies that he couldn't beat without the mask. And they always pretended to not know who he was. And at some point in the story, in real life, he got injured. He got injured, and instead of having 2 characters disappear from WWE for a while, they only had the real person, Chad Gable, leave, and they got somebody to fill in as the new as El Grande Americano and pretend like it was business as usual, even though it was a completely different body type. And and he's a guy, and he's from Germany. And what was crazy is this is right around the time where they acquired AAA. So they started sending wrestlers from WWE down to Mexico. And this character got over really fast in Mexico, primarily because he actually speaks Spanish fluently. I chalk that up to everybody has a better education system than America. So this German man can hang out with the Mexican people and speak their language, and they ate it up. They loved it. He became their hero over the course of like months and months. He started out like as an ally of Dominic Mysterio, and then eventually they broke apart, and Rey Mysterio kind of gave him the nod and turned him into a hero. And next thing you know, like in February at the Royal Rumble, he was he was in the ring with all the other wrestlers, and then all of a sudden the next person comes in, and guess who it was? The original El Grande Americano comes into the ring. They do the meme. They do the Spider-Man meme in the ring where they point at each other like, what are you doing here? You know, like, and next thing you know, they built a story where he started going to Mexico weekly, antagonizing this guy. He got his girlfriend fired from her job. He beat up on a blind Mexican comedian. He beat up on another wrestler that it's like he was doing all this stuff to just antagonize the people in Mexico and really just, you know, he wanted his position back as he doesn't like this imposter. So fast forward to this Saturday, they had a mask versus mask match to determine who the real Grande Americano is. And I swear to God, it was so good. They replayed the highlights at Clash in Italy during a premium live event. And then on Monday night, they replayed the entire match at the end of Monday Night Raw because they're so proud of the match. It was epic. It was so good. There was blood. There was tears. There was just drama, emotion. It was fantastic. And every single thing that I've watched. Now. What?
Are you going to go to Triple Mania?
Hell yeah, I am. It's in Vegas. We already decided that, sir. The first night is in Vegas. It's a 2-night event. They're splitting it. It's a Friday night and a Sunday night. The Friday night is in Vegas. The Sunday night is in Mexico City. We're going to do
It's on 9/11.
It is. Yeah. So, tickets go on sale on Thursday. You want to go?
I don't know my schedule that far out.
Oh, okay.
I'm checking. Well, that's sports time, so there is a sports game.
It's at the Luxor.
They have an arena at the Luxor?
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's a big one. Yeah,
like where Carrot Top plays.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I've stayed at the Luxor.
That's got to be weird. It's weird. But yeah,
it's where the Will Smith video.
The what?
The Will Smith video. The getting jiggy with it. That's a shot at the Luxor.
Gotcha.
That's the only like fun fact that people die there all the time.
I see. But yeah, so I saw one of the best wrestling matches I've seen in my whole life, and it really ruined Clash in Italy for me. It ruined Monday Night Raw for me. It just I'm a little ruined. It was so fun. It was almost an hour-long event. It opened with mariachi. It opened with Rey Mysterio being there. It was a story they told, man. And it was
where do you get mariachis in Italy?
No, they were in Mexico.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. The Saturday night was Mexico. Sunday was Italy. Yeah. There you go. That's my highlight. Other than that, I've been playing Lego Batman sporadically. I love the bursts. Like every mission I do is just so fun. I get to drive around with my wife in the Batmobile, just wreck things. I love that they programmed the little Lego bystanders to like dive out of the way of the Batmobile every time you think you're going to hit them. Even the little Lego wheelchair people like do a full-on tuck and roll with their wheelchair every time. They do like a wheelchair cartwheel every time you're about to hit them with the car. It's pretty funny. So that's an adorable game. I love it. Yeah, I think that's mostly what I've been nerding out on. Yeah.
I would have figured you didn't go to the movies at all? No backroom, no obsession?
I didn't get time to do that one. No, neither one of them. I want to. I do. I tried inviting my friend Ian, or our friend Ian. I tried inviting his wife because she's the only person I know in San Diego that digs going to see horror movies as much as I do. She's not free for like 2 weeks, so I might go do it. I might do a double feature or something like that. I might do it. I feel like, have you seen Obsession yet?
No, it was supposed to come out on streaming, but then it made more money. So
really, it was already. Oh, you were going to rent it on streaming?
Yeah, it was supposed to be out like 2 weeks after it was in theater.
Oh, well, this is
That movie only costs like under $1 million movie.
750,000.
Yeah,
but
and
I
it's
thought it was supposed to. Well, this is the second weekend. It's only
yeah,
been
it was.
yeah.
Or if things had not blown up, it would have been on streaming already, like rental, paid rental. But
gotcha.
To that movie's credit, it's doing well. Same with Backrooms. Backrooms. I think the bigger story out of all of it is like you got these two sub $3 million movies
kicking the crap out of Mando and Grogu.
Kicking the crap out of Mando.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
don't know, man. I know they just had changes there, creative changes at Lucas, but
it's right. It's not a good look. It's not a good look for Star Wars.
The Star Wars movie taking
third place.
I don't think Filoni's head will roll, but I do think some heads might roll for that.
It's rough. But I think it also comes down to timing, right? Like that was too little, too late. Like don't get me wrong.
That movie came out last year.
Don't get me wrong. I love that movie. I adore it. It is I will forever cherish that movie. I can't wait to watch it at home with my wife. But as far as capturing the public at the right time, just fail. Like that's it, Like I don't mean to say anything bad about that movie, but it did. Marketing, the window was wrong. Should have been last year.
But talking about what should be this year, don't know where I was going with that segue. We can talk about the news.
All right.
All righty, we got an update on Man of Tomorrow, the not Superman sequel, but the next film after Clayface to be in the DCE or DCU, whatever you want to call it. DCU. We got our first look at Lex Luthor in the suit.
I know, right?
And it's the power suit.
And it's practical, right?
It's a practical power suit. It got the color, so you got the bubble.
You gonna zoom in on it?
The only nugget that's a little different. It's an Argus logo on his chest, not a Lex logo, not a little trapezoid thing that he usually has. Okay. So that's probably some type of story beat there, but I like the bubble. I like the suit. It looks like a Lex power suit.
Yeah. It looks good, dude. It's green and purple. That's like, that's all you can ask for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they were so close to doing it. They did it in Lois and her Superman and Lois, and they just didn't paint it green and purple. And I was like,
"That's the easy part.
You're not going to paint it green and purple." The way they worked it out in the story was kind of clever because Steel was in the story.
It was Steel suit, right?
Yeah, he stole it from Steel at the very last. He stole it from Steel. That's a funny statement or sentence. Stole Steel.
We got to watch on this show.
Have you seen that movie?
I'm pretty sure I have.
Okay. We don't have to watch that on the show, but if you want to, I will watch it on the show. We don't have to. But, what about Supergirl, the original one? What about all the Christopher Reeve movies?
Moving on.
Did we watch the first one?
I think we did.
I don't think we did, dude. I think I just watched it independently before going to see Superman. I think that's what happened. Yeah.
I don't remember it either way.
The first two are quite awesome movies. They really are. So, anyways, move on.
Today was Sony's State of Play. So right now it's kind of that Summer Games Fest week where pseudo E3-ish time where we get a lot of video game news. But we got our first extended look at Insomniac's new game, the Wolverine game that they've been working on for the past couple years. You see Wolverine in kind of a not open world, but trying to think what the right term is. More Uncharted-y, large open spaces.
Oh, so it's not an open world game like Spider-Man?
Not an open world. Yeah, it's a story-driven game. Rated M, a lot of blood, but it does take place in the same universe as the Spider-Man games, though.
I see. But by the way, I know tangentially related. Is there any other cool stuff that was announced at that event, like State of Play?
Like, do you know of something or
no?
The other big news was the God of War sequel.
Is it the third one?
It's God of War Laufey.
Oh.
It's a spin-off starring Laufey in she's not in Valhalla, but she's in some type of world. She's in an afterlife where gods go when they die. So there's magical creatures, and I think the neat thing was some of the antagonists are very clearly from, I think one's the Mongolian God of War, one's the Egyptian God of War. Jack Quaid's a gelatinous cube.
Okay.
So it's one of those, and they're saying it's not like a spin-off, but a separate continuation of that story. If you remember, they send her off in the first game. That's kind of the whole driving force is spreading her ashes. But other than that, actually, the other cool game. Do you remember the Stuntman games?
No.
They were kind of like Burnout in a bit, but you had to hit specific like crashes or jumps.
I do remember them. Yeah.
They're making a new one called Stuntman Hollywood, but which I guess is the same thing, right? But they got the Universal license. So you're going to be reenacting scenes from Fast and Furious, Back to the Future, Miami Vice.
Okay, all right, that's kind of cool.
So that same conceit, that was kind of cool. But
I can dig it. I'll watch that State of Play later.
Yeah, there's a bunch going on this week. I think Xbox on Sunday. The standard Summer Games Fest one is, I believe, tomorrow.
Did you ever go? Did you ever go to E3?
Nope. I actually had gotten tickets to E3 in high school. I swindled my way into like a press badge. But I did not think logically and like, oh, I actually need to get there now. So
I mean, those are the good old days. It was weird. It was a weird place, weird time in life. Yeah, I used to go from like watching it on G4 to end up.
I would always watch it.
Like, yeah, and then I ended up working so many of them, and the longer I worked it, the more it changed. It just kept changing and changing, and eventually I was like, I miss the one that used to be on G4.
Did you ever go to CES?
Yes, I've been to that one a couple times too.
That's the one during AVN, right?
Yes. Coincidentally, yes. So as a fun high school story, because I grew up there in that town, we had a computer teacher, computer science teacher, that he just really wanted to go to CES, right? Like that was like his whole, you could tell that was just his thing. I'm not saying he's a bad teacher. I think he was a cool teacher. But so what he did to turn it into a freaking field trip, he got a bunch of like Wired magazine, all the different magazines that were offering like free tickets to E3, and he made us all fill out a form, like not disclosing that we were like, you know, teenagers or whatever and stuff like that, but just filling it out as though we were like a business, you know, each of us or working in the computer field. And next thing you know, all of us got tickets, free tickets to go to E3, and he got the school bus chartered. Like he took us all downtown to San Diego, and downtown Las Vegas, and then as soon as we got off the bus, he said, "All right, meet back here at like, I don't know, like 3:00 or 4:00, whatever it was." And he let a whole bus full of teenagers just run wild in Las Vegas during E3 and AVN. Or I mean, CES and AVN. Yeah. It was so funny. Me and some of the other dudes, we totally checked out all of CES. We were pretty fast. We were like, wow, that's cool. And then we're like, so do you want to go see if we could try to get into AVN? Like we're dumb, you know, we were like 16 or 17, whatever. We totally went over there. Yeah, they card you at the door. So it was never gonna happen. But you gotta appreciate the initiative. We tried. We were just hoping maybe we looked mature enough, but we did not. But yeah,
someday.
I've never gone back to try though. I have gone to CES since then. I went with my wife, and that was like, I didn't think to be like, hey, you know what's down the street, right?
Let's hop on this monorail real quick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But, yeah, Summer Games Fest Wolverine comes out this September. There's a date, September 15th. The game comes out.
Okay. All right. I'll just be getting back from Las Vegas from
you can pre-save it, but
from Triple Mania. Yeah.
X-Men 97. We got a new trailer.
Oh my god.
Came out this past week. They got to get the X-Men back to the 90s. Remember, they're spread across time.
Mm-hmm.
Have to face Apocalypse in the future and the past.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that show coming out relatively soon, I believe in early June, or sorry, mid-June, mid to late June.
Is it the 14th, I think? Or is
I think so. Yeah, that might be the next thing that we talk about here.
Mm-hmm.
Are coming up. They announced,
or is it July? Is it? I can't remember.
It's July. Sorry, it's July.
July 1st or something like that. I don't remember. Yeah.
They have finalized scripts for season 3.
Okay.
And they're already writing season 4.
Okay.
And whether it sticks or not, they are committing to a annual release schedule.
You tell me though. Like, did it look bad?
I mean, you got to remember this one was still written by that guy.
Did it look bad?
No.
It looked friggin' awesome, right?
Yeah, it looked awesome.
Here's the thing. That guy's not the only guy on this planet that can write X-Men stories and do it well. A ton of people.
We'll find out next year.
A ton of people have done it.
Comes out.
A ton of people have done it. Okay. The X-Men that we grew up with as kids that made us fall in love with them and I'm so excited to watch 97 was not written by this. I'm trying to remember his name right now. Bodemayo. Thank you. Yes. So I just think that he is a really good hype man. He's very good at being on social media and making you aware of his contributions to it. But I do believe it was a collaborative experience from a lot of people that made that thing great. And I believe that from that trailer I saw this last week, it's still going to be great. Yeah. Will it hit as hard? Time will tell.
I'm with you on board. But I will reserve judgment till season 3 comes out.
If it's even 70% as good as 97, that's still better than most things that we watch on this show, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's, if that, to your point, the issues they tackle on that show are more timely than ever. So
yeah, exactly.
So we need the X-Men.
We need the X-Men, guys. We do.
Another bit of news. Stan Lee is going to be returning via AI 11 Labs have partnered with the Stan Lee universe, which is, I guess, the holding company for his likeness and everything Stan Lee, to digitally replicate his voice and likeness using AI.
Mhm.
So you'll see him doing voiceover work for his Stan Lee's comic book of the month. So you'll see him read his picks for comic book of the month, starting with Treasure Island. So, so 11 Labs are the same company. They're the ones that have John Wayne, James Earl Jones. They have Judy Garland. So they have some heavy hitters. Do you want a Stan Lee AI Stan Lee talking to you?
Look, we already got a freaking James Earl Jones talking to us in Fortnite, and after he's dead. I'm not endorsing AI, okay, just to be clear, but like
his was a little bit more ethical though, because he actually made that deal.
Okay, well that's fair. You have a valid point. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I weigh in on this crap, man. It's so complicated. Does the Stan Lee estate approve?
Well, that's what the Stan Lee universe is, or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Did they sign off?
Yeah, on yeah, that's they're the ones that have that.
So what you're saying is that the family of Stan Lee will profit from this?
The people who own, I don't know if they've sold that already.
Fair enough.
What I mean? I don't know enough about Stan Lee Universe or whatever. I know they have a booth at Comic-Con, the same spot every year. But
I mean, if they sold it, they still profited. They still did.
Yeah, they made money off that sale for sure.
So I'm saying, if the family is able to be supported by something that is still using Stan Lee's likeness, I'm kind of feeling like, is it all that bad? You know what I mean?
I wonder,
like, if I died and somebody was like, hey, can we use his likeness to keep this podcast going?
Oh, I have so much of your voice data.
Exactly, right? Exactly. But what I'm saying is, like, if my wife still got the massive amount of residuals that we get from this show, you know, like, after I was dead, could I really be mad at it? I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be mad because I'd be dead, but I don't know. It's hard to say. Like,
I wonder, they have Judy Garland. I wonder if they fed all her movies into that AI.
I'm sure they did. How do you feel about the Stan Lee thing?
I don't think Stan Lee in particular, like, so Judy Garland, actor, James Earl Jones, actor. Granted, they have bespoke traits or bespoke likenesses or unique likenesses, but Stan Lee's just kind of a personality. Like, granted, not the creator side Stan Lee, but he has
more acting credits than Judy Garland. I promise you that.
I know. Yeah, I totally. But you use Stan Lee for Stan Lee, right? Like the look and the voice. So as like time moves forward, I don't know what stuff other than stuff he's created that like applies to, you know?
Yeah. I just feel like he has always been Stan Lee in everything that I grew up, you know, like when I would watch an Incredible Hulk cartoon or I'd watch a Spider-Man cartoon, Stan Lee, I'm talking about from like the 80s or before that, you know, like Stan Lee was the narrator. He would jump in and introduce. If I played a Spider-Man video game, you know what I mean, back in like the Activision ones, he was the narrator. Like, he has always been the voice of Marvel Comics and the face of Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
He is their mascot in a way that, like, DC doesn't have.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like
100%.
Image
But
doesn't have. You know, like
do you want to see Stan Lee read Treasure Island?
that. I don't know. Like
You
that.
know,
That's
like
kind of weird. Is
there's
it a Treasure Island graphic novel from Marvel?
no, like there's a part of the sauce that company doesn't own. That's a very key ingredient.
Yes. So
to a Stan Lee likeness.
That's fair. That's fair. Then yeah. Again, I just default back to like, did the family benefit?
Yeah, they got paid. Yeah. I'm more curious, not on like the ethics, but like I just want to see what application they put him in.
Yeah. Is he having OnlyFans?
Soon, maybe.
Nice. Yeah.
Do you want to see Spider-Man Brand New Day early?
Yes.
Well, you're in luck because if you're a Prime member, select Prime members will have a chance to buy tickets to go see Spider-Man Brand New Day 3 days early, or 2 days early, sorry, on July 29th instead of July 21st or 31st.
I didn't realize this movie was coming out the 31st. That sucks.
It's like this Comic-Con's not gonna lie, this Comic-Con's gonna be weird.
Are we not gonna watch this movie at Comic-Con? Are they not gonna show it?
I mean, they're not. We won't find out for like a month.
Oh, fine, whatever.
I mean, but then like you got, are you like? I forget Supergirl's like on the horizon too. Like I'm not super stoked on what I've been seeing of that movie. Like I'm not like I don't need to see that movie day one.
I'm excited to see it day one. The problem is that my wife won't go see it day one because the dog gets shot. My wife refuses to go see that movie with me because the dog gets shot. The whole premise of the movie.
Not even a dog though.
That's racist, bro. That's racist.
It's racist to say he's a dog. Just because he looks like a dog doesn't mean he's a dog.
He's a dog. That's a dog. That's a dog. It's modeled after James Gunn's dog.
A dog. Or alien.
He can be both. Why would you say it like that? Why can he only
be canine native to the planet Krypton?
Yeah, there you go.
Because he's Kryptonian, he has the same powers under our yellow sun as Superman.
But
while he looks and acts like an Earth dog, he is completely extraterrestrial.
Yeah. Why can't he be an alien dog?
I don't think he's a dog.
He is a dog. I don't think you understand how this works. I think you need to go back to biology class. We can have similar species evolve on different planets. We have no evidence that it has happened yet, other than at the microbial levels. But like, I'm not even sure they have similar ones yet. But if it's a dog, it's a dog. It doesn't matter where it's born. There's an Earth dog and there's a Kryptonian dog. It's still a dog.
I think that's a slippery slope you're on there.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not even a real dog in the movie. It's a CGI dog.
I don't care. It's still dog.
Same. If there had to be a dog to get shot,
you think John Wick's dog actually got shot in real life?
Yes.
Yeah, you think that they were committed to the
that dog's more real than Crypto. I'll tell you that.
That dog's
fine. Also in Fortnite now.
That's fine. Not the one that died. It's not.
Oh, it's a new one.
It's the second dog. The good.
That new battle pass is
the one that it is ass. That new battle pass is ass.
That peanut is crazy.
Fair.
Do you know the story behind that?
Isn't it like a streamer, a personality?
It's a streamer who regularly hosts a weekly show called Slur Saturdays.
Didn't he win Streamer of the Year last year?
Yes, he won Streamer of the Year last year. Mm-hmm. And Slur Saturday still continues.
Wow.
No, that's the state of our country.
Nice. Yeah, that battle pass is ass. Anyways, Crypto's a dog, and we're going to talk about Spider-Man Noir now, or no?
Yeah.
Spider-Noir.
Spider-Noir. Not a...
I'm gonna get.
Right.
I want to get two things out of the way because they're just annoying and dumb. I hate that I can't call this show Spider-Man Noir, probably because of stupid legal reasons that we'll never really officially understand. And I hate that his character has to be called Ben Reilly, probably because of stupid legal reasons that.
Well, the second one is specific. They've talked about that. Yeah.
But I will say this. At least the second one is addressed in the context of the story.
Yes.
So that's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm just saying it's really weird that we got to call it Spider-Noir. It's so we watched a full-on Spider-Man story happen in 8 episodes and they can never call him Spider-Man.
He's a spider.
He's the spider. I'm just getting that out of the way, saying I get it. There's weird legal stuff that goes down between Sony and Marvel. Icky. I'm just saying icky. Gross. I don't like, but it's fine. Past that, let's talk about this show. Go for it, Ricky. Do your thing.
Spider-Man Noir, starring Nicolas Cage.
Spider-Noir. Just Spider-Noir.
Spider-Noir, starring Nicolas Cage, Lamorne Morris, Lee Jun Lee, Karen Rodriguez. What else am I missing? Brendan Gleeson. That's a big one. And a bunch of other people. Limited series on Amazon Prime based on the Spider-Man Noir comic book run. It's a thing that exists. It's a thing that we've gotten. It's a thing that, as we alluded to at the start of the show, I think this is cool that this exists. I mean, let me just start there.
It's super cool that this exists.
We got this weird subsect of Spider-Man lore. How long is the actual Spider-Noir run?
I've only read the first 2 graphic novels.
Okay.
I don't know how long the run is, but I do know that it happened before the Spider-Verse comics came into existence.
Mm-hmm.
It was a thing, it was a thing where Marvel started just trying out stuff. They're like, what if we tried this story? And somebody had a story to tell. They did it. The art was beautiful. It was done in very noir style. It was not black and white. It was color, but it was very, very heavily shadowed. You know what I mean? Beautiful comic. And the story was cute.
First appeared 2009.
Spider-Noir. Yeah, Spider-Noir, 2009. So it's not been around for a long, long time. You know what I mean? But I would say it was very satisfying that Spider-Man Noir, and Gwen Stacy and Spider-Ham were the 3 characters chosen to be the extra characters in Into the Spider-Verse, because those are the ones that I think had the biggest impact on fans outside of the clone, right? That's a thing. But Ben Reilly, the clone, he gets his time in the sun in the second movie. That's fine. As Andy Samberg, which is hilarious. But I think this was a really good choice because I think the diversity. The problem with the clone is he's just Spider-Man. He's just Spider-Man. He's the same. He's the same character essentially. So that's not fun, right? But if you want a diverse cast of supporting characters, and you already have a Peter played by Jake Johnson in that movie, then you want to round it out with 3 very different characters. And I think Noir really checks that box. Spider-Ham checks that box. And Gwen is more than just a box check, right? She's she's like an actual character in this story as well. So, but it was a good choice at the time for those ones to be the ones. Ever since the success of the Spider-Verse and stuff, I think there are lots of other interesting ones. But I like that somehow Noir is an OG, and I think that Nic Cage brought a lot to the character back then, and I think that's kind of why Phil Lord and Chris Miller were like, would you consider doing this as a movie? And he was like, hell yeah. And Sony didn't want to do it as a movie, you know?
Like, it honestly feels like just enough people said yes, right?
The right amount of people said yes.
Yeah, the right amount of people was like, would you be kind of down to be Spider-Man? How about a Spider-Noir show? I'm like, I don't know. It only really would work if we can get Nicolas Cage to do it. And then Nicolas Cage read down.
Well, from what I read is they actually wanted to do it because the reason they did it is because Nic Cage had so many ideas that he shared with them when they were making the movie about this character that they're like, would you like to do this animated, like a spin-off thing, right? And then they ultimately decided, crap, if we do this animated, it's gonna cut into the other animated movie they're trying to get out the door, right? So that's when they switched to live action, and just made sure that he had a budget that was good enough to support the story they wanted to tell. But I think it's mostly just that they were so impressed with what Nic Cage brought to the character, even though it's a pretty small character in the movie, right? In the Into the Spider-Verse movie. Like, he's got some fun moments, but he's mostly there as kind of a joke in the same way that Spider-Ham is, right? Like, it's I mean, I'm not saying they don't have canon events and they don't have their own baggage.
No, but he's plays a farce. It's a guy with the accent.
Yeah, he's a 1930s gangster accent, and you're like, that's wild that you really talk like that. And I love so much that this TV show gave you a reason why he talks like that. I thought that was super cool. That was probably the thing there were several things I never expected from this show, but that is the top of the list for me. Like, I never imagined that in any Spider-Man story we would get the origin of why Spider-Man Noir talks like a stereotype from the old school gangster movies, right? And it turns out it's because when he was bitten by not a spider, he was bitten by nightmare fuel, bro. Like, that thing was awesome. I really loved that when he got bit by this half man, half spider monster that was created by the Germans in World War One. That they leaned into the horror aspect of Spider-Man, right? Like, I think there's a reason that a lot of people love the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans, and I think it's because Sam Raimi comes from a horror background and he has horror sensibilities, and when he can, he does include a little bit of body horror and or just general horror and stuff. And so the idea of Spider-Man, if you stop and think about it, it is kind of horrific, right? Like, especially
you get bit by a spider, which sucks.
Your whole DNA is rewritten on the inside, and sometimes on the outside. Sometimes it manifests as web shooters that shoot out of your wrist. Nasty. Sometimes you get multiple arms. Sometimes you get mandibles coming out of your face. You know, you never know. It's a crapshoot, right? But the fact that they leaned into all of that in this show, and then when Nic Cage was bitten, his transformation was far darker than like any Peter Parker we'd seen before, and he started getting twitches. He started wanting to have. You could tell they didn't have to say it to show, but they showed it. He started behaving like a spider in the way that Nic Cage would interpret that, right? And in order to regain his humanity, he started going to the movies regularly and mimicking the characters like Bogart and you know, like Sinatra. He mimicked the characters that he saw. I think Sinatra's like not that. That's too old for Sinatra.
Bogart.
Too old for Sinatra, but Bogart for sure. He started mimicking these characters and the voices that they made to fit in with society. And I thought that was so clever because it allows him to be wild and weird and it allows you to immerse in this story and feel like you're in the 1930s, right? Like, even though you never grew up in the time, they're telling you a story and they're inviting you to come be a part of it. And I thought that was really clever.
I look at it like from the same lens, or like, I did not like this show, but my tastes were strictly personal, right?
Okay.
So to that, the point that you're making, right? Those are all things that I could like sit here and try tearing apart. Like, this is dumb, or why does he talk like this, or why? I still think he's a fucking 6-year-old man. But gripes aside, right? The show does its homework, and it's a clean show.
Mm-hmm.
I can admit that maybe I like, you could make the most perfect plate of spaghetti, but if you don't like spaghetti, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what I got out of this.
Okay.
But I look at it like I'm happy that this thing is out there. It exists. Maybe there's a season 2. They, to that point, right? It's a full ass Spider-Man story. You got the Spider.
You got a canon event. You got a canon event.
He's fighting Spider-Man villains, right? Sandman, Tombstone, Megawatt. What's the fire guy's called?
Silvermane.
Silvermane.
I don't know who the fire guy was supposed to be.
But,
I tried looking him up.
There's enough spider isms. That it's a complete, not to knock on like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or a Legends of Tomorrow, right?
Oh yeah, Black Cat's in the story too.
Black Cat's in here, where you kind of dance around some certain things. Like, they just went with it. They're rocking with these characters. Granted, they're noir versions of the characters, right? But they don't necessarily skimp on that aspect of bringing these heavy hitters in. And I think it's cool. You got the black and white, you got the color bits. I think it worked for some. It didn't work for others. Like, for me, the black and white stuff didn't work with some of the more CG heavy scenes, in my opinion. But that's just how I view black and white cinema. There's a graininess to it. There's a crispness to it as well, like watching old Twilight Zones that are in black and white. But it's cool. You got both. If you don't like, you can watch the color. I watched some parts in color. I watched some parts in black and white, and it worked all the same. I don't know, man. Like, I just, it's like a weird thing to just not.
What was it you didn't like? What is the spaghetti that you don't like? Is it you don't like the noir genre?
I think that's what it is.
Okay. Do you like Blade Runner? I do like Blade Runner. That's interesting, because you just said you don't like the noir genre.
I know. I don't like 30s noir.
Because Blade Runner is a straight up rip of those. It just puts a different. It puts a different mask. A skin on it. It reskins it. What I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, I can respect that. You are from a different time. I think. Did you have anything to add, or do you want me to?
No, you can take over.
Okay, I will say this. This is again the generational difference between you and I. I am far older than you, or old enough to have grown up in a time where black and white television was a very readily available thing.
Turner Classic Movies.
No, before that, when there wasn't cable, bro. When it was just like you had like 4 channels and they could not fill up a full 24 hours of schedule on those channels, right? So like the network would go off the air at maybe a certain time of the day, and then it was up to the TV station to fill the time,
Mhm.
and a lot of that time was filled with reruns of old black and white movies, old black and white TV shows. I grew up on I Love Lucy. I grew up on The Honeymooners. I grew up on Danny Thomas, different shows that he had. It's just I'm old. I'm old. Okay, I know I am. But the aesthetic became something that wasn't like, for me. It's kind of like, I've told you the story about the black suit Spider-Man.
Yep.
My relationship with it, right? How like when I started collecting comics, when I started reading Spider-Man, I had 2 issues of Spider-Man that had come out at the same time. I had one that was a suit, or he was in the black suit, and I had one that was in the red and blue. I thought that's how it always was, because I was too young to know any better. And so I just assumed that like Spider-Man comes in 2 flavors. You know what I mean? I think when I was a kid, I think my TV and movies came in 2 flavors. You know what I mean? And so it wasn't hard. It's not hard for me to enjoy black and white. It's not hard for me to enjoy noir. And I honestly think like that was kind of my favorite thing about the comic when I got to read it. It was just like, it reminded me of my childhood. It reminded me of like, oh, this is the crap I used to watch when there was nothing to watch on TV,
Mhm.
And so I love that the show chose to be really faithful to a type of genre that's not around much anymore. And you better believe when the show gave me a choice between watching it in black and white and watching it in color, I always chose black and white. Unfortunately, there was a time where I went to my bedroom to watch an episode, and I guess my Fire Cube is not a supported device, and so it didn't give me the choice, and I had to watch 10 minutes of one episode in color, and I wanted to vomit. I just hated it so much. I hated the color. I hated the color, and I'll tell you why. The biggest reason I hated the color. As a reminder, when you first announced this show last year, I said, no, he's too damn old. He's too old. I don't want this, right? Dude, he looks so much older in color than he does in black and white. He looks way older in color. Am I wrong?
I just think he looks old. Like my favorite, like I don't want to like knock on Nic Cage for being old. He has a very
yeah, I'm not
great
trying to be
filmography. But man, like there's like some fight scenes where like he would, like the cuts were really quick. You'd have Spider-Noir fighting, and then they would cut to Spider-Noir taking off his mask. But as he's pulling off his mask, there's without a fail always a cut to a different angle, and then it's of course Nicolas Cage taking off the mask, and it's like physically like the silhouette is just an entirely different person.
But you know what? This is another thing that I appreciated that they didn't have to explain, but they did, is they make fun of him for how out of shape and old he looks, right? They like tell him he's aged really badly, because there's a part of the show that like you find out that like, because the whole premise of the show is he's the guy that we met in the Spider-Verse movies, but this is way later in his life. This is after he's retired, right?
Oh, I took that as like he wasn't.
No, because he starts the movie by saying someone once asked me, what universe I'm from, and like that's a reference to the movies, right?
Is it? I just thought that was like a weird. I don't think it's the same guy.
No, I got the impression that was he has met Miguel at some point.
No.
You can say no. You can say no.
Maybe that changes our percent. Would have been a much cooler show.
But I'm saying, my interpretation of the show is he is an older version of the one we met, right? And whether or not he's the same one that helped Miles and helped Gwen, debatable, fine, whatever. But at the heart, he's still the same character, right? So
Yeah.
I appreciate that, like, okay, he's super old, right? But then in the context of the story, all these other superpowered characters start showing up in the story, right? And it becomes a mystery. Where are these people coming from? And then you get the reveal that it's like, actually, they came from the same place I did. We all are the same age, and we all came from a camp in Germany that was experimenting on people in World War One. And when you learn that, then you're like, okay, I was trying to be cool here, Nic Cage. I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, but like, now you're telling me you're the same age as these dudes? You look rough. You look rough, right? The only one that looks rougher is the one that got the unfortunate ability of getting super old. Like, he's the only one that looks worse than Nic Cage. Like, he's supposed to be the same age as Sandman and Megawatt and Tombstone. Come on, bro. Come on. So I'm there with you on that one. But I was always there, right? I was always there. But I will say, for me, the black and white made it easier to immerse and forget.
I mean, to be fair, that was the thing in those films of that era where people were like 50
people were
years
super old
playing teenagers.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I ended up dismissing it and not letting it like hang me up for the rest of the show. But it but it did make it super funny later when they realize hey, you're the guy that rescued us. What happened to you? Oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, I love the jabs at him. Like, I love that he was down to let the writers call him out for being a 60-year-old man pretending to not be a 60-year-old man playing Spider-Man, you know? So that kind of smoothed it over for me, because that was my gripe when it started, you know, when we first heard the announcement. It's like, too damn old, you know? The other thing I liked about the black and white is the action. I thought it was cool that we got to see action in a black and white setting that we would never have seen in those kind of movies back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, I love the over the shoulder camera that was like the super fast cuts, only because they're things that are common in our action today, and they would never have been filmed that way in the olden, you know, in the olden times. So I liked it as like a juxtaposition of like blending modern with classic, you know.
Yeah, that's a different take on it for sure. I look at those as two. They're one and the same. Like, so you need both parts. Like, I think that's why bits of WandaVision work well, right? Because they committed to the different.
They commit to the bits. Yeah. That's fair
in all aspects.
Yeah, I totally understand why you didn't like it. Like, I get it. Like, it was a choice from the beginning, right? Like, it was like they made artistic choices that you may or may not be down for, but like, you know, I'm sorry you had to watch the whole thing even though you didn't like it. But I will.
I mean, it's like, but again, it's like not like spaghetti, right? Like, how bad is spaghetti?
But I will say this: I thought for what this show was, the supporting cast was fantastic. Like, I thought that I love Lamorne Morris. I've always loved Lamorne Morris. He was my favorite character on New Girl, and ever since then, I have not been shocked at all by the success he's had. The fact that he's second billing on a show with Nic Cage is a testament to how good he is. But the moment when he has to pretend to be the Spider, that shit was great, dude. That was so funny. It killed me. Karen Rodriguez as Janet Ruiz. I just love seeing a Spanish-speaking, like a Hispanic person in this story. That the way they diversified this universe and still pointed out like Oh, hey, by the way, it's super racist still in this
Yeah.
world. Like I thought that was really cool. I loved that Lonnie Lincoln was living in the what do they call it? The Hoover Hoover towns or the Hoover
Oh
the
shit.
you know what I mean? Like the just the ghettos. Like they were like
Mhm.
in the alleys. They were living in the alleys, like
Mhm.
the pop-ups. I loved Sandman. I just loved his look. I loved his overall look. But I loved Cat Hardy, that she never had to dress up as Black Cat or anything, to just be the same kind of.
Yeah, she fits the same. She does the same thing.
She betrays Ben when he thinks that they're gonna fall in love. Freaking Brendan Gleeson as Silvermane. I know, I
That's
know,
crazy.
I know this character's never gonna go into a cybernetic body and try to kill Spider-Man. And what they did with this character was so amazing. He was so good in this show. And then like I would be remiss if I didn't mention the one that stole the freaking show for me is Andrew Lewis Caldwell as Dirk Layden. I had no idea who this actor is. I've never seen him before, but his megawatt character was a sight to behold. Like that was crazy. I loved this character. I want to know more about what this guy does.
Megawatt is a real character, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just captivated me. Like he was everything. That gravelly voice, that's a voice you would not hear in a lot of movies nowadays, you know what I mean? Like, but just everything. The fact that he comes from a theater background and he's just constantly quoting like the great plays and just incorporating them into the murder he's doing on people. Like it's man, I just loved how campy all these characters were, but how believable they were as people too. They were really real, and I don't know, man.
No, I
I
mean
love.
the show does a really good job at like it is fleshed out. Everyone has a story and a reason to be where they're at, and on how they fit in the Spider-Man isms.
Mhm.
But again, they are. It isn't like how to put it? Like it's not like the son of Sandman or this
It's just them.
Tombstone's. It's just them.
It's just them. Yeah.
So that gives me hope for like a season 2. Like I would watch season 2. Like
Okay. Okay.
I would maybe not watch it all at once, but I would watch it
There's still
just for
room.
the
There's still room for a Mary Jane if
yeah,
they want.
just because they're doing. It's a quality show.
I would love if they did it though, to just de-age Nic Cage. Tell a different time. Tell the story of when before Ruby died or something like that. Bring Silvermane back. You know what I mean? I don't know. I will say, like, above all else, I will eat crow. When I watched it in black and white, I got so immersed in this story that I was just down for the ride that Nic Cage took me on. He was a spectacle for sure. This goes down as one of the good things Nic Cage has made in his career. There's a lot of good, a lot of bad, but I think that this show without Nic Cage would have been terrible.
What's your favorite bad Nic Cage movie?
My favorite bad Nic Cage movie? I've not seen the worst Nic Cage movies, but like I like me some Con Air, man. Some Con
Never seen
Air.
Con Air.
Con Air, but a
I
lot of
know
people.
I know it's a
a
prison
lot,
plane.
a lot of people would say Con Air is a good movie though, but you know what? I also love Face Off. I love Face Off. The premise of that movie is stupid.
It's Stallone, right?
No, John Travolta.
Oh.
Yeah, it's questionable. There's a lot of movies out there, but yeah, no, I love this. I love this show, and I'm so happy that I loved it because I went in thinking I would not. But black and white, man, it was so cool. It was such a cool thing. I will check it out in color because I've heard some things are really worth watching because they put a lot into the color of the
Yeah,
show.
the New York looks good.
Yeah, but I think the problem I had was like I was forced to watch the scene where he went back and found the suit and put it back on for the first time and did Spider-Man stuff for the first time in the show. I was forced to watch it in color. I saw that in color and I was so mad because I was like, the costume's brown. I didn't know the costume was brown. This is stupid. I was so mad that the costume was brown. I just thought it was black, dude, because the comic book is black. You know, like it's the every version I've ever seen of Spider-Man Noir is black. So it was just kind of
dark brown, right?
Yeah, I guess. But and I will say there was only one other hang up I had, but I don't blame the show. I blame the Spider-Verse movies. Spider-Man Noir does not have web shooters in the comics.
Yeah, he's a grapple gun.
He has a grapple gun. Yeah. And
yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He has black webs.
Are they black?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know they were black. I just thought they were. I couldn't tell. I just thought they were like heavily shaded or something like that. You know, like I didn't know what color they were.
The web shooters, the organic webs.
They're pretty gross, but they work for the story, you know. So like, I didn't fault the show for it. Like I said, I fault that he was shooting webs back with he was swinging with Miles and stuff anyway. So it's like whatever, we're gonna do this. It's fine. Yeah, but yeah, it was a fun show. I'm very happy I saw it, and I would like if they convince Nic Cage to do it again, happily I would do that. But I think that Ricky just got ejected from this episode somehow. I'm not sure how, but I think we should probably wrap that up before you have any more technical difficulties.
Quick cutout there, but so, I'm back to end this.
So I know we talked about He-Man next week, but I think I have to delay that a week. So we're going to do Batman Begins.
Yeah.
Are you sad that you're not watching He-Man?
I mean, I'm still going to watch it.
Yeah, you can still watch it. Yeah, you can still watch it. That's fine.
There's a clip that came out today of Skeletor.
Yeah.
So it's, I think they learned their Tron Ares lesson because there was like no Jared Leto in any of the marketing for this movie.
Oh, I know.
But there's a clip with Skeletor and Evil Lynn that came out today. And it's like, they're doing it.
All right, I'll go check it. I'll go look it up.
They're giving us Skeletor.
I'll go look it up.
We'll watch.
I love me some Skeletor, man. You know
what's funny? Before wrap up, we can get on. Well, we can probably we'll save for next week because it ties into Batman. It ties into both Batman Begins and He-Man.
I'll tell you what. If I manage to see it before then I'll let you know. And we'll surprise our audience with a He-Man episode instead.
It's one of the two. We'll have to stay tuned to next week to find out. But until then, true believers.